Lesson 5. Setting Item Defaults. Many fabrication shops have preferences for how items are to be manufactured. Locking down certain dimensions and settings can help enforce design and fabrication standards, improve productivity, and promote higher quality. For this lesson, you'll do the following. Copy an existing item. Learn about locked settings. Create dependencies and calculations. Exercise 1. Setting Item Defaults. In this exercise, you create a copy of an existing item and lock or control certain dimensions and settings. Start Fabrication CAMduct. Select the Imperial Content configuration and create a blank job. Select the Item Folders button on the utility bar. Expand Imperial Content, HVAC, Generic, Systems, and highlight the rectangular folder. Items in this folder are displayed in the Preview pane. Change the display to large icons. Locate the square bend. Right-click on this item and choose Copy on the shortcut menu. Right-click in an empty area of this pane and choose Paste to create a copy of this item. Locate this copied item. It should appear at the bottom of the pane. Highlight the copied item and choose Edit from the shortcut menu. Instead of right-clicking to access the Edit command, you can double-click this item. The item appears in the Takeoff window. This item is located in the database. Any changes made affect the database copy of this item. Take note of the dimensions listed A through E in the item properties at the upper right corner of the window. Notice also that the dimensions displayed in the viewports are keyed to these dimensions. Dimensions D and E are the extensions at the inside corner of this square bend. These dimensions are unlocked and can be set to any dimension. Change dimension D and E to be 1 inch each. Click the Redraw button or press F7 to redraw the item. The inside corner is now 1 inch by 1 inch. An inside corner this small would be difficult to fabricate. Most fabricators prefer these inside corner dimensions to be a minimum of 4 inches or always set to 4 inches for ease of fabrication. Change dimensions D and E to 4 inches. Press F7 to redraw the item. Lock these dimensions by clicking the lock symbols to the right of each setting. Notice that the bottom width, dimension C, is not a number. It shows equal. Dimension C has been set to whatever value is entered for dimension A. This is not a reducing square bend, and the throats at both ends must be the same size. The equal setting option is hard-coded into this pattern. Click on the C button for dimension C. A dimension editing window appears. Description overrides the name of the dimension and displays whatever text is entered. The settings along the right side display this dimension in the selected viewports. The Dependency tab offers a method for controlling dimension C based upon another dimension. You now create a breakpoint table to control the bottom width based upon the top width. Select the Depends On pull-down menu and select Top Width. Click the Add Entry button. Enter 12 inches in the left field and 6 inches in the right field. Click Add Entry again and enter 24 inches and 12 inches. Click Add Entry a third time and enter 36 inches and 18 inches. Notice the less than or equal to symbol above the table. You've created a breakpoint table to control dimension C, the bottom width, with dimension A, the top width. The bottom width will be 6, 12, or 18 inches wide based upon which breakpoint dimension A falls into. Click OK to save these changes. Click the equal value for dimension C and a drop-down menu appears. Change the setting to Dependent. This option did not appear until a dependency was created for dimension C. The top width is set to 24 inches. Based upon the breakpoints you just created, the bottom width should be 12 inches. Test this by pressing F7 to redraw the item. You see in the top left viewport that dimension C is changed to 12 inches. Change dimension A to 25 inches. According to the breakpoint table, the bottom width should change to 18 inches. Press F7 to redraw, and dimension C changes to 18 inches. Change dimension A to 10 inches and redraw. The bottom width correctly changes to 6 inches. Select the button for dimension C and the editing window appears. Change the Depends Upon setting to None. Click OK to save and close the window. Notice that the loss of the dependency formula has caused the value in dimension C to be changed to a fixed value. Click the Dimension C button again to open the editor window. You now create a calculation to control the bottom width based upon the top width. Click the Calculation tab. Pick in the text field below the calculation label. A drop-down menu with available calculation fields appears. Select Top Width. The top width field is inserted into the calculation field. The drop-down menu now shows possible operators. Select the symbol for division. This is the / character. The drop-down menu offers more fields. Rather than select another field, type the number 2 into the calculation field. The calculation sizes the bottom width to be half of whatever dimension is applied to the top width. Click OK to save these settings. Click in the Dimension C field to change it from a fixed value to Calc. Change Dimension A, the top width, to 33 inches and redraw to see the results. The bottom width changes to 16.5 inches, exactly half of the top width. Click the Item tab. You can also lock certain options for an item. Select the Air Turns number 1 drop-down menu and choose Small Double Vane. Notice that this option is automatically locked. Changes to an item in the database are assumed to be required options and are locked automatically. Select the Connectors tab. For both connectors, C1 and C2, use the drop-down menus to select TDC connectors from the duct flanged connector group. Both connectors show TDC connectors and both settings are locked. The connectors labeled S1 and S2 are the inner and outer seams. Set S1 to Small Pittsburgh. This is labeled PITTS-S in the drop-down menu. Redraw the item to see the changes. You see TDC connectors on both ends and the air turn vanes. Click the Accept button or press N to save these changes. Double-click this modified item in the Items folder and it appears in the Takeoff window. Change the top dimension to 47 inches and press N to place this item in the job. Switch to the Job Contents window. Right-click on the item and choose Properties from the shortcut menu. Select the Manufacturing tab and note that the small double vane is included. Select the Other tab and you see that both connectors are TDC. Seam 1 is a small Pittsburgh. Click the Information tab. Dimension C is set to Calc. Select Cancel to close the Item Properties window. Close the job without saving.